Interest in the microbiome is increasing all of the time. Google Trends shows clear upward tick in the amount of us who are researching or are becoming aware of this important aspect of our physiology. So what is the microbiome? Quite simply, your microbiome is the community of tiny living things, mostly bacteria, but also viruses, fungi, and other microbes that live in and on your body, especially in your gut. You can imagine it like a mini rainforest inside your belly, full of different species all working together. These microbes help you digest food, they make vitamins, they train your immune system, they communicate with your brain, affecting mood and appetite. When your microbiome is balanced, it helps you stay healthy and keeps your weight stable. When it's out of balance, too many bad bacteria and not enough good ones, it can make you hungrier, mess with your metabolism, and even cause inflammation leading to disease. It will come as no surprise that your microbiome does not like sugar and does not respond well to it. In fact, it doesn't respond well to artificial sweeteners either, or ultra-processed food. Funny that, isn't it? Basically, how your gut microbiome responds to food is a great way of actually gauging whether the food is good for us or not. So, when you consider your microbiome in every decision that you make, you can stay true to the right path. The microbiome is quite a personal subject for me. The Diet Myth by Tim Spector, it kind of changed the course of my life, Laura's life, and the lives of our children by setting me off on a path of better health and wellness. It is quite shocking when you research the microbiome just how important it is for us and how little we know about it. There are studies and cases where altering or repopulating the microbiome in a positive way has had health consequences that are actually hard to believe. So buckle up. I'm going straight into some of these studies, and some of them may seem controversial or cause upset due to personal circumstances. I'm still going to talk about them though, because they are out there. You can read them, and it is important that we look at every issue we face from every angle possible and not discount things without further discussion or testing. Fecal microbiota transplant, or FMT, is basically the process where they take the microbes from a healthy donor and place them within a patient who does not have a healthy gut microbe population. They have been called poo pills or crapsules by some, but I will stick to FMT for the purposes of this. There is big money in poop. Some people with healthy gut microbiomes are paid big money for their crap. Some companies offer upwards of $500 per healthy donation. The highest quality donors for poo are being sought over all across the globe, with one company offering $500 per day if you can provide a daily stool, or $180,000 per year. Insane. But that just shows how powerful our poo can be, and it takes some getting your head around this. Basically, studies and cases have shown that when you get this healthy crap, prepare it correctly, and then pop it inside the person requiring treatment, they can get better in ways that traditional medicine has never seen or even thought possible. Here are some mind-blowing examples. C. diff bacteria infections can be killers. They are common infections people get in hospital. Many are stubborn to or resistant to antibiotics. FMT has shown a cure rate of around 80 to 90% in many trials, better than traditional treatment. In one older randomized trial, FMT was so dramatically effective compared to antibiotics that the study was ended early for ethical reasons, because continuing the control arm would mean many patients suffer needlessly. There are examples where elderly patients have been admitted due to infections and have undergone FMT, like a man who was 82 and was suffering with dementia. He had suffered decline for 5 years and had symptoms of memory loss, confusion, and depression. His wife was the donor in this case. The patient's wife reported that he no longer appeared to enjoy socializing and required considerable assistance with basic tasks such as food preparation, bathing, and taking his medication. Neuropsychiatric testing revealed significant impairments in the areas of memory and semantic language abilities. The FMT resolved his C. diff infection. In a 2-month follow-up, his wife reported he had improvements in his mental acuity. Prior to the FMT treatment, he scored 20 on what is called the Mini Mental State Examination, or MMSE. This indicates mild cognitive impairment. 2 months later, he scored a 26, indicating normal cognition. The article goes on to say this, which is unbelievable. 4 months after the FMT, the patient reported continued improvements in memory, with no progression in symptoms. The patient now remembered his daughter's birthday, which he had not been able to recall previously, and was able to correct the physician's recollections of his symptoms. 6 months after the FMT, the patient reported a marked improvement in mood, was more interactive, and showed more expressive effect. When they re-administered the MMSE test, it revealed that the patient's score had further increased to 29. Now, these were just observations in one patient, not studies. The nature of dementia and the microbiome are both extremely complex and not fully understood, but these results show that the links between your gut bacteria and your brain are worth considerable research. But the issue is that they probably won't get much funding, as pharmaceutical companies can't profit massively from poop. With the FMT, you're literally repopulating your gut with a healthy person's bacteria. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Studies are showing improvements in children suffering from autism spectrum disorder following an FMT. Following an FMT, children with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, showed a reduction of 23% in their score on the autism behaviour checklist. FMT has shown substantial improvements in gastrointestinal symptoms in children with ASD. Children with ASD are often quite fussy eaters and lack a large variety of different foods entering and populating their guts. So with the FMT, we are introducing good bacteria into their system, which seems to be decreasing their symptoms. Again, this is showing strong links in the gut-brain axis, but further proper clinical trials are needed, but often fall short of funding. When you look at it, there are basically tons of reports coming out of improvements in disorders and conditions that involve the brain through the use of FMT. Too many to talk about here, but it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Have you ever heard the term gut feeling? It exists for a reason, because the gut is strongly connected to our brain via something called the vagus nerve. The gut is often referred to as our second brain. Your microbes communicate constantly with your brain through this vagus nerve, sending signals about mood, hunger, immunity, and inflammation. That's why gut problems can show up as anxiety, depression, brain fog, or fatigue. And it's why improving gut health often improves mental health. Over 90% of your body's serotonin, the feel-good hormone, is made in the gut. So when your gut microbiome is out of balance, your mood is as well. Your gut bacteria thrive on fibre, polyphenols, and diversity, things found in vegetables, fruit, legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. Fibre isn't just roughage, it's literally food for your bacteria. They ferment it into short-chain fatty acids, like butyrate, which reduce inflammation, strengthen your gut lining, and even protect your brain. When you cut out fibre and eat mostly processed food, you're starving that microbial ecosystem. It's like deforesting your insides. And when that happens, the bad bacteria take over. They release toxins, damage the gut wall, and let inflammation leak into your bloodstream, something scientists now call leaky gut. That inflammation spreads everywhere, your joints, skin, brain, and arteries. And here's something else that people don't often talk about: your oral microbiome. Your mouth is actually the front door to your gut. Every time you swallow, trillions of oral bacteria travel down into your digestive system. If that oral ecosystem is unhealthy, from a poor diet, sugar, or gum disease, those harmful bacteria end up colonizing your gut too. And here's where it gets wild. Researchers have found the same oral bacteria associated with gum disease, like P. gingivalis, in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. This is a bacteria that should only be found in the mouth, but is in people's brains. Not only that, It was found in the brains of between 90 to 100% of Alzheimer's sufferers. Other people who were examined of a similar age had it present only 25% of the time and in much lower levels. It has been linked to the formation of the plaques in the brain, and some scientists even believe the cause of the disease could be bacteria related. So how can you stop this from happening? By looking after your teeth and your gums and avoiding sugar as much as possible, which causes decay and allows bad bacteria to proliferate. When your gut microbiome gets disrupted, something called dysbiosis, everything else starts to fall apart. Your immune system gets confused and starts overreacting. Your inflammation levels rise, fueling things like arthritis, eczema, and autoimmune diseases. Your metabolism slows down. Your mental health suffers, and it doesn't take long either. Studies show that just a few days on a diet of ultra-processed food can reduce microbial diversity and increase inflammation. The same goes for artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose. They can actually alter the microbiome, leading to glucose intolerance and insulin resistance, even in healthy people. The good news? Your gut can recover, and surprisingly fast. Within just a few days of eating better, beneficial bacteria will start to return. And here's how to feed them properly. Eat real, whole food. Fibre is the key, but also variety. The more plant types you eat, the more species of bacteria you support. Tim Spector says 30 per week is a good number with proven benefits. And the great news is that herbs and spices count towards that total as well, as does coffee and other things. Laura managed to sneak in 30 different types of plants into a single meal that we recently ate. Include fermented foods, things like kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, live yogurt, kombucha. They're packed with beneficial bacteria that reseed your gut. Feed your bacteria with prebiotics. Garlic, onions, asparagus, and more contain special fibres that beneficial microbes love. Avoid antibiotics unless absolutely necessary because they wipe out bad and good bacteria alike. If you must take them, follow up with a few weeks of probiotic and fibre-rich foods. Ditch ultra-processed foods. Emulsifiers, stabilizers, and artificial sweeteners disrupt the microbiome in a negative way. Get outside and get dirty. We've become too sterile. Soil microbes, pets, even garden air. They help diversify your microbiome. Avoid physical contact with cleaning products and sprays. They can even disrupt your microbiome on your skin, as well as inside you if you inhale them. Now here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. Your gut can literally change your mood. Certain bacteria produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, the same chemicals targeted by antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications. One landmark study found that transplanting gut bacteria from depressed humans into mice actually made the mice show signs of depression. We're only scratching the surface of what this means. Researchers are now studying precision probiotics, custom bacteria that could help with everything from obesity to Alzheimer's. And scientists are discovering that each of us have a unique microbial fingerprint, like a second genome that affects how we respond to food, medication, and even exercise. The future of nutrition might not be eat this diet. It might be eat for your microbiome. Imagine a world where your doctor looks at your gut bacteria before prescribing anything, where we treat metabolic and mental illness by restoring microbial balance, not just hiding your symptoms and ignoring the cause, where we prescribe poo pills tailored to suit your precise needs. That's the direction we're heading in, and it's huge. The future of medicine is looking like crap.
Weight today, 76.45 kilos with a body fat percentage of 21.8%. Lunch today, a nice mango and black bean salad. And for tea, some roast potatoes with crispy beans, mixed green veg and garlic.